My dear friend, imagine yourself sitting alone in the dark, scrolling through your feed, and suddenly a thought creeps into your mind. A fear, a secret, something only you know. And then suddenly it appears on your screen. Your personal world is exposed. Every app, every ad, every video seems to be watching, listening, and echoing your every thought. You are not alone. Something unseen is there, turning your mind into a window for the world. And then you realize it knows you, perhaps better than you know yourself. That thought itself is unsettling, mysterious, as though an unseen presence is staring straight into your mind. A room full of silent watchers, pulling your inner voice into the open. Friends, I experienced this all when I was casually checking reels and watching my own videos as to how they appear and how many of them viewed. Suddenly, there it was. A reel, a face, Einstein's eyes staring right at me. No smile, no sound, just that piercing gaze and one formula burning across the screen. E is equal to mc square. The law of mass energy equivalence staring at me. But in that moment, it didn't feel like science. It felt like a warning, as if someone is peeping right into your mind. For a moment, I was panicked. I was feeling that I have been hacked. My stomach dropped, fingers hovering above the screen. But as the fear ceased, another memory surfaced. It was the episode on Purnamadah Purnamidam, the ancient verse about wholeness. Suddenly, Einstein's E is equal to mc square didn't feel like a random flash. It felt like an echo. Purnamadah Purnamidam. It says, from the whole, even if you remove a part, what remains is still whole. Einstein says, matter and energy are same. Nothing is lost but only transformed. In that strange instant, the algorithm surprise felt less like intrusion and more like a mirror. An old Sloka and modern equation reflecting the same terrifyingly beautiful truth. Friends, after my episode on Purnamadah was released, I was asked an interesting question. How can you say we are complete? Aren't we still evolving, learning and growing until the day we die? Honestly, I was very happy hearing that question because it showed that the viewers didn't just watch my video, they carried it in their hearts and truly reflected on it. For that, I am deeply grateful to all my viewers for their support and encouragement. And in that instant, I knew I owe an answer. Because unless we see it clearly, the shadow of incompleteness will keep haunting us. Even though in truth, our wholeness has never been broken. So let me try once again to answer that question. As we grow, it may feel like we are picking up new qualities and becoming better. But actually, we are only bringing out what was already inside us. Like I have said in that episode, think about a seed. It doesn't make a tree from scratch. The tree is already hidden inside it with its branches, leaves and fruits. And when that seed is exposed to sunlight, water and a proper care, it slowly shows what was always there within. We too are the same. All your feelings, strengths and talents are already within you. Life and experiences don't create them. They just bring them out. You are not incomplete waiting for someday in the future to be whole. You are already complete. Just opening up step by step like a seed that quietly grows into the tree it was meant to be. Friends, as I sat with this thought, my mind spiraled from the wholeness of within us to the wholeness of the universe around us. That's when the Einstein's idea of time dilation struck me. How even time itself bends and slows as we move closer to the speed of light. Do you remember that haunting scene in Interstellar? The crew lands on the water planet, and with every single tick of the clock, 7 years slip away back on Earth. That implies 1 hour is equal to 7 years. That's not just science fiction. That's Einstein's theory of relativity, made real, made emotional, and made terrifying. Time itself bends, stretches, and escapes our grasp, reminding us that even a single moment can cost us a lifetime. And in that moment, a deeper question began to rise within me. I asked myself, where did all this begin? Was there ever a time when there was truly nothing, no light, no space, and no time at all? Science says it all began with the Big Bang, but my mission is to connect the Vedic Slokas to STEM. And therefore I asked myself, if modern science calls it the Big Bang, what name did the Vedas give to this beginning? That question lit a fire in me and inspired me to begin a kind of reverse engineering of the cosmos, tracing time backwards to the very beginning. Let me call it as a kind of cosmic archaeology. Friends, Namaste. A warm welcome to Sloka to STEM. I am Mahesh Mohan Mamnuru, and you are with me on CMHUB, where ancient slokas meet the brilliance of modern science. But before I move forward, I want to be very clear. I am not claiming that the ancient rishis were somehow doing modern physics. Rather, I am celebrating how the deepest human questions remain constant across cultures and centuries. The beauty lies not in making the Vedas scientific, but in recognizing how both traditions honor the profound mystery of existence. The interpretation of a sloka is always relative. Whether you see it through a theological lens or a scientific one, it depends upon your perspective. My approach here may differ from the familiar theological explanations you might have ever heard elsewhere. What I share with you is simply how I, as a science student, have perceived and connected these timeless verses. So let us start our journey on to this cosmic world, tracing the universe from its very first spark to the world we live in today. Friends, before science spoke of the Big Bang and about the birth of time, space, and matter, the Rigveda has already asked the very same question in the timeless verse of Nasadiya Sukta. Listen to the timeless words of this Nasadiya Sukta, which was given in Rigveda 10.129. Some call it as Sloka, some call it as hymn, and others as mantra. Yet, it is more than a name. It is a question, a mystery, a whisper from the very dawn of creation. And it begins like this. Nasadasin no sadasit tadanim nasidrajo na vyoma paroyat. Now what does it mean? Nasidasin no sadasit dadanim. A prarambhakshanamlo asat ante non-existence. Sat ante existence. Ee rendu kuda levu. Nasidrajo ante akasham ledu. Space or firmament are not there. Na vyoma paroyat. Danipaina unna unnata lokam. It means higher heaven or upper expanse. Idi kuda ledu. If we compile this in a sentence, it says, before creation there was neither existence nor non-existence. No sky above, no sky beyond. What secrets rested in that silence no one can truly know. Friends, this hymn does not claim to answer, it dares to question. Science too speaks of a beginning, the Big Bang. Around 13.8 billion years ago, the universe burst forth in a flash so powerful that even time and space were said to be born. And before that, there was no before, no time, no space, no directions. What was there before Big Bang? We still do not know. And here Across thousands of years, the rishis and the scientists stand together at the same threshold, staring into the same mystery. The hymn continues. Tama asit tamasa gudam agre prakretam salilam sarvama idam. Now what does this mean? Tama asit అంటే చీకటి మాత్రమే ఉంది. తమసా గూఢం చీకటితో చీకటి కప్పబడి ఉంది. అగ్రే ఆది కాలంలో, ప్రకేతం ఎలాంటి సూచనలు, ప్రకాశము, జ్ఞానం లేకుండా, సలిలం సర్వం అంతా కేవలం జలరూపం అంటే ఒక శక్తి సముద్రం మాత్రమే. ఇదం ఈ విశ్వం. Again, if you have to compile this into one sentence, in the beginning there was only darkness. A darkness so deep that it's hard to imagine. An endless ocean of energy stretched across nothingness. Rigveda says there was only emptiness, no light, no form. And science tells us that after the Big Bang came the cosmic dark age. A time when the universe was hot, dense and opaque soup of particles moving around. No stars had formed, no light could travel, only chaos and silence filled the cosmos. As the universe cooled to about 3000 Kelvin, the first light finally appeared. And scientists called this as the cosmic microwave background. A faint glow we can still detect today. In a remarkable way, the rishis and modern scientists describe the same stage, the invisible beginnings of the universe where light itself was waiting to be born. But the Vedas didn't stop at the question. Another hymn from the Hiranyagarbha Sukta describes the beginning in a way that makes the heart skip.
Hiranyagarbha samavartadagre bhotasya jatapatireka asi.
What does this mean? Hiranyagarbha means Bangaru Guddu or golden womb or golden egg, the primordial seed of creation. Samavartata agre, adilo adi matrame unikilo undi. In the beginning it alone existed. భూతస్య జాత పతిరేక ఆసిత్, దాని వలననే సర్వ విశ్వం పుట్టింది. అది సృష్టి యొక్క ఆది, అది మూల కారణం, అది అధిపతిగా ప్రతిభవించింది. Again, if you have to compile it into single sentence, in the beginning was the golden womb, the seed of creation. From it the entire universe emerged. Friends, doesn't it sound similar? Cosmology also describes the universe's origin from an infinitesimally small, incredibly dense and hot state called as the singularity. Not a golden egg, but a seed that contained within it all the matter, energy, space and time that would ever exist, compressed into a region smaller than a proton. Here the Purnamadah Mantra echoes, from wholeness, wholeness emerges. That singularity was not emptiness, but infinite potential, the wholeness that gave birth to everything. And then came the expansion. The Purusha Sukta describes it in a majestic word.
Om Sahasrashirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad Sabhumim Vishvato Vritva Atyatishthadashangulam.
What does this mean again? Sahasrashirsha Purushaha. ఆ విశ్వ పురుషునికి 1000 తలలు ఉన్నాయి అంటే ఆయనకు సమస్త జ్ఞానం ఉంది. సహస్ర అక్షః 1000 కళ్ళు, అన్ని దిశల్లో ఏమి జరుగుతున్నదో చూడగలదు. సహస్రపాత్ 1000 కాళ్ళు, అన్ని ప్రదేశాలలో ఉన్నాడు, కదులుతున్నాడు. సభూమిం విశ్వతః వృత్వా, ఆయన భూమి అంతటా విస్తరించి ఉన్నాడు. అత్యధిష్ట దశాంగులం, అయినా భూమిని మించిపోయి భూమికి పైన ఉన్నాడు. Again, let us compile it into single sentence. The cosmic being is everywhere, sees everything, knows everything, and even exists beyond the earth. Friends, when the hymn says the cosmic being had 1000 heads, and 1,000 eyes and 1,000 feet, it is not talking about a giant person. It's a poetic way of saying that this being is everywhere. Just like the universe itself, it spreads out in all directions with no limit. And cosmologists call this as cosmic inflation. In the first fraction of a second, specifically between 10 to the power of minus 36 and 10 to the power of minus 32 seconds, space itself expanded exponentially. In less than a blink, the universe grew from a subatomic particle to galactic scales, almost a factor of at least 10 to the power of 26. Now, if we have to visualize this, imagine a grain of sand suddenly becoming larger than a basketball, then continuing to expand at the same rate. And that's what exactly the Purusha Sukta describes, pervading in all directions, stretching beyond. And then the eternal question came, who knows? After all this cosmic architecture, the Nasadiya Sukta ends with profound humility. Now what does this mean? Ko Ardha Veda. నిజానికి ఈ సృష్టి ఆరంభం ఎవరు తెలుసుకోగలరు? క ఇహ ప్రవోచత్. ఈ సృష్టి ఎలా మొదలైందో ఎవరు చెప్పగలరు? యో అస్యాధ్యక్ష పరమే వ్యోమన్. ఆ అత్యున్నత స్థితిలో ఉన్న పరమాధిపతి మాత్రమే తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. స అంగవేద. ఆయనకు ఇది తెలిసి ఉండవచ్చు. యది వా న వేద. లేక ఆయనకే తెలియకపోవచ్చు. హూ రియల్లీ నోస్ హౌ ఇట్ ఆల్ బిగాన్? Who can explain where this creation came from or how it happened? Maybe the highest being in the universe knows, or maybe even he doesn't. Rigveda says creation is the greatest mystery, and according to modern science, cosmologists can calculate what happened just after the Big Bang, track the cosmic microwave background, measure how fast the universe is expanding, and even detect ripples from colliding black holes. But the big question remains. What caused the Big Bang? Why did it happen? Was there anything before it? We still don't know. Friends, even though these ideas are separated by thousands of years, both the Vedas and modern science reach the same conclusion. The origin of creation is a profound mystery. The Vedas teach humility. Humans can never fully understand how creation began. Maybe only the Supreme Being knows, or maybe even he doesn't. The truth is simple. Creation is the ultimate mystery. Some mysteries are beyond human understanding, and true wisdom starts by admitting we don't know. By now, I felt genuine wonder, experiencing a kind of goosebumps. I realized I had been doing a kind of cosmic archaeology, reverse engineering of the universe, digging through layers of ancient inquiry and finding modern science's deepest questions, which are already etched in the Sanskrit verse. Step by step, the pattern emerged. The mystery before creation was questioned in Nasadiya Sukta, which asks questions of the beginning, what was there before anything. The Hiranyagarbha Sukta talks about the seed of creation, describing the golden egg which is referred as our singularity, called as the cosmic seed. The Purusha Sukta talks about the infinite expansion of the cosmos, showing that expansion is everywhere. We call it as the Big Bang cosmic inflation. And finally, the ultimate humility. Perhaps even gods don't know. And science also admits honestly about its own limits. One by one, the puzzle pieces clicked into place. our rishis expressed in timeless poetry what scientists today are still trying to capture in equations. And both in their own way stand before the same profound mystery, the birth of the universe, the birth of everything from nothing. But friends, the Vedas don't stop with just one idea. They go further, speaking of endless cycles of creation and dissolution of multiple universes, and even of unique models of time itself. What we have explored here is just one luminous thread from that vast fabric of ancient inquiry. Few years back, the James Webb Space Telescope revealed breathtaking images of the galaxies that were born when the universe was barely 400 million years old. In scientific terms, we are seeing the light from the cosmic dawn. And in poetic terms, it feels as though the Rigvedic seers who spoke of the primordial darkness and emerging light were envisioning the same mystery that we are only now beginning to witness through modern science. Friends, this exploration represents one interpretation among the many possible readings of these profound texts, bridging ancient wisdom with modern understanding, while honoring both traditions of inquiry. This is Mahesh Mohan Mamnuru. See you again with another episode where ancient questions meet modern answers and timeless wonder finds its echo in cutting edge discovery. Take care. Bye bye.